vriend en saam staan jy staan. Jy is altyd daar. Dit wat ons doen, ons liefdes, ons vreugdes, ons plekke, ons thuistes, tot daar waar ons reis, jy is daar. Afrikaans is ons wese. Dis die taal waarin ons groet, die taal is in ons bloed, is Afrikaans, vir ons mense. En ek stuur vir jou 'n sein, met 'n boodskap daarby, en waar jy is, sal jy dit kry, in Afrikaans vir ons mense. Al verander straatname, al word helde laat val, ons is steeds deur ons adem, ons kultuur, ons verhaal, dit sal altyd bestaan. Afrikaans is ons wese. Dis die taal waarin ons groet, die taal is in ons bloed, is Afrikaans, vir ons mense. En ek stuur vir jou 'n sein, met 'n boodskap daarby, en waar jy is, sal jy dit kry, in Afrikaans vir ons mense. Ons is daarmee gebore, die taal waarvoor ons staan, dit vloei deur ons are, ons kinders praat het saam, dit sal altyd bestaan. Afrikaans is ons wese. Dis die taal waarin ons groet, die taal is in ons bloed, is Afrikaans, vir ons mense. En ek stuur vir jou 'n sein, met 'n boodskap daarby, en waar jy is. Dis die taal waarin ons groet, die taal is in ons bloed, is Afrikaans, vir ons mense. En ek stuur vir jou 'n sein, met 'n boodskap daarby, en waar jy is, sal jy dit kry, in Afrikaans vir ons mense. Afrikaans vir ons mense. Afrikaans vir my mense. Afrikaans vir ons mense.
Going to my mind's going blank now.
What's happening?
What, I can't remember.
I'm gonna lose track.
My mind's going blank now.
What are you talking about?
What the hell's going on here?
Where the hell are we?
My mind's going blank now.
I can't remember. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. What am I doing here?
My mind's going blank now.
Where am I headed?
I keep forgetting I'm president. Where am I?
No idea. Last night on the television, I was on a telephone.
Rapidly rising, and with I don't know.
COVID has taken more than 100 years. Look, here's lives reflected in the NHEI. America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was afoot in we're going to seize the ill-begotten gains of Putin's kleptocracy. Yeah. NATO's purpose is to defend against aggression. Let me make that near and dear to you that you like to be able to. Anyway.
My mind's going blank now.
What's happening?
What, I can't remember.
I'm gonna lose track.
My mind's going blank now.
What are you talking about?
What the hell's going on here?
Where the hell are we?
My mind's going blank now.
I can't remember. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. What am I doing here?
My mind's going blank now.
Where am I headed?
I keep forgetting I'm president. Where am I?
No idea. I don't think as the idea that the political coverage of the I want to thank and recognize Dr. John Kingerson. death song. I can't get this to function at all.
My mind's going blank now.
What's happening?
What, I can't remember.
I lose track.
My mind's going blank now.
What are you talking
What
about?
the hell's going on here?
Where the hell are you?
My mind's going blank now.
I can't remember. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. What am I doing here?
My mind's going blank now.
Where am I headed? I keep forgetting I'm president.
Where am I?
No idea. No idea. No idea. No idea.
Welcome back once again. This is Chris Report, and he assured me that St. Simon's down in Boulders. Folks, this is Chris Wyatt reporting from South Africa. Hello, folks. Welcome back to Chris Wyatt Reports. It is Wednesday, July 10th. 2024. Welcome back to the program. According to Joseph Robinette Biden, NATO's purpose is to deter aggression. Strange. It seems to me NATO's purpose is to allow freeloaders like the Germans, the Brits, the French, and the Canadians to hide behind the skirts of the United States Department of Defense, protecting their liberty and freedom. Also seems to me that the purpose of NATO is to fuel proxy wars in Ukraine on behalf of Jens Stoltenberg and now Mark Rutte, as well as Joe Biden. It also seems to me the purpose of NATO is to interfere in the affairs of Afghanistan by invading it with tens of thousands of troops. It also seems to me that the purpose of NATO is to bomb Libya after being suckered and hoodwinked into doing it by the South African government and others, demanding that action be taken against Muammar Gaddafi, only to betray us when we actually take action, but didn't even lead from the front, while the cowardly Obama regime hid behind British and French fighters. It seems to me the purpose of NATO is not to deter aggression. That was its purpose until 1991. Since 1991, the purpose of NATO seems to be political and to expand the World Economic Forum's one world government nonsense. That's what it seems to me the purpose of NATO. I feel betrayed as someone who wore the uniform and was a part of NATO for decades, and we have been hoodwinked and shystered by these political cabal of leftist shysters and, of course, their rhino friends and the fake conservatives in Germany, in the CDU, and in the United Kingdom in the form of the Tories. A bunch of frauds, one and all. Frauds, one and all. Welcome back to the program, folks. That's my opening statement, and I think it's valid. Let me say hello to everybody, and then we'll get on with the program. Ans is here. Charles Van Onselen, the voice of reason. Myra Page, dropping a bucket. Marty Van Balen is back. Welcome. The Crypto Noob, how's it going, man? Teresa Debbie Moray is here. Smee again is back again. Erica, hey Erica, how are you today? Myra Page, I said Teresa already. Pierre Orban, welcome to you. Clive Streak, Vilma Erasmus. Allison Johnson, hello, how are you, young lady? Where is Chris Ehlers? I haven't seen Chris Ehlers in a while. Where is Chris at? Am I missing something here? Rainier Dutoy, welcome to you. Garrett Gillich, always here as usual. It would be a great advert for an Alzheimer pill. Yeah, or Parkinson's, one of the two. He has all the classic symptoms of Parkinson's, all the medical terms, the halting movement, the awkward turns that are not smooth and flowing, the pregnant pauses, the slow monotone release of his voice. All of the classic hallmarks of Parkinson's disease. The fact that the man is sitting on the throne of the free world is a disgrace to liberty. And there's Chris right there. Hey, Chris, I didn't see you. Welcome. All right, Emery, welcome in from Istanbul. Paulie, the brains behind the operation. Paulie, how's it going? Arc Precision is here once again. When I hear Arc Precision, I'm thinking like arc welding. Anyway, and then who have we missed here? Mark Purchase. I almost missed Mark. Well, folks, is liberty just an illusion? Let me ask you that question. Ruvani Frybus, NATO fighting for immigrants and communists. Why bother fighting Russia? There you go. I think that's a fair statement, Ruvani. Yeah, so is liberty ephemeral? Is it just an illusion? Are we really living in the Matrix? Are we simply serfs for the ruling class? Well, it sure feels that way after seeing the dirty, underhanded, illegal politics that took place in my local race. And seeing what's happening in South Africa, in the United Kingdom, and also in France, it leads me to believe that there really is little liberty for us. We are simply serfs. It takes very little. This morning, I received a notice from the mortgage company that purchased my mortgage loan last year from the bank with whom I'd made it. Purchased it last year, and they don't answer their phones, they don't respond to email messages, and they're impossible to contact. Well, that's not been a problem because I set up auto pay, so the mortgage, or not auto pay, I set the mortgage up so not auto pay, so I can make sure I pay it every month and verify that I've got a confirmation number, so that's not been a problem. Also, the escrow account is now almost a year. It's been in July last year when they took over the account, but not been a problem in the escrow. They've paid the taxes on time. Of course, they took that out of my mortgage payment. They paid on time. They paid my home mortgage insurance. No problem. But suddenly, I receive a letter from these scumbags telling me that my home mortgage insurance policy has lapsed. Now, that's horse manure. So I call them, and I went through 35,000 menus. Dial 1, push 2, push 3. If this option, select that. If you want English, screw you. This is America. Get your frickin' Spanish garbage off of there. If you want to speak Spanish, then go to a Spanish-speaking country. Stop inflicting me with that garbage. Ooh, a xenophobe, a typical American who doesn't speak a language. Well, I speak 6 languages, 3 of them African, so shove that in your rectum and hit the road, you bigots and idiots. I demand that we speak English in this country. It wasn't our language. We adopted it. Get over it and move on. And I encourage people to learn a second or third language. It's always a good idea. Anyway, back to the story here. So these scumbags, I call them up and waste a half hour of my life going through menu after menu. Finally, I call the main number at the company and say, hey, listen, let me make a payment, and make a payment. Still have to go through multiple menus before I can get to a representative to make the payment over the phone, which took about 6 minutes on hold for that. So after 40 minutes of my life stolen by these scumbags with their fraudulent letter telling me that my home insurance mortgage has lapsed, I get to a representative and she gives me another number. I call that number, and that other number takes me right back to the same menus that I was in before. So finally I give up. I call my insurance company. I said, what the hell is going on here? How has my policy lapsed? I purchased the home, moved into it. The loan origination date is the 17th of July. My insurance premium runs from 17 July to 17 July. So what am I missing here? And also they told me on that website, when I went to the website for the mortgage company, that they took almost 40,000 Rand out of my account, my escrow account, to pay my insurance. Well, the amount they gave me was $200 or $100 some dollars more than I paid this past year. So I called my insurance company. They said, in fact, your policy did not lapse. Your policy runs through July. So all I can surmise is these scumbags see that my insurance lapses during July and trying to hoodwink me into signing up for their more expensive insurance, but I can't talk to anybody. So what a bunch of scumbag, dirtbag, dingbat, doorknob thieves, dishonest, irreparable garbage. And the companies are allowed to get away with this. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Chris says, no, we don't have liberty. I think we don't have liberty. First off, if I don't make ridiculous tax payments to a well-funded, overfunded local school district every year, if I don't make those 4 tax payments, if I don't make my tax payments to the township, if I don't make my home hazard insurance, then my home will be repossessed by a corrupt government. They will take my property. It doesn't matter that I paid the mortgage. It doesn't matter that physically it belongs to me. I could pay off an entire property worth $300,000, $400,000, $500,000. Mine's not worth that. Pay that off, and then simply missing a tax payment, they could steal my equity just like that. That's not liberty. That's slavery. That is debt servitude. That's what that is. I'm so sick of this garbage. You can't even go and live somewhere in the middle of nowhere and just live on your own. Every government organization takes money out of your pocket for property taxes. And in South Africa, we hear this land is going to make you rich. How does land make you rich when you are debt slaves to a government? Seriously. You are debt slaves to a government. How does that make you rich? Frankly, I've had enough of this horse manure. 40 minutes of my life stolen. I'll never get back because of these scumbags sending me this bogus letter telling me that my policy had lapsed when it never lapsed. This is something on autopilot, something I don't have to worry about. The only thing I worry about is the increase every year in the premium, which, by the way, is now more than double when I bought my house a few years ago. My insurance premiums have more than doubled. So I asked them about that. The insurance company wasn't lying. Well, you have to understand the assessed value to rebuild your home is this much. What a crock of manure. Basically, I have insurance to rebuild my house, which is 2.5 times the cost of my house. It doesn't cost 2.5 times to build a new home here. My home is actually worth about $40,000 less than it was on December 31st, according to local property values. So my insurance went up. This is ridiculous. I'm so sick of these people. Country's too big. There should be many more countries with like-minded people living in them. Okay. As with Google, Facebook, and other large corporations, all a bunch of control freaks. Agreed. All right, so there you have it. They're all thieves. Debt is the way they serve up their lives to lies. Yeah, no, I've never been a fan of it. This whole fantasy, which I've said for decades has been fantasy in America. And what I'm talking about in America is this garbage. This is the garbage. Now, I can no longer afford to be a renter because I can be booted out of my home and dumped in a moment's notice. That wasn't an issue when I was active duty in the military because the military would have protected me. I had rights, and people would have gotten a lot of trouble for doing that to a military person, dumping them out of their home and just canceling their lease agreement. So I had some recourse, but I have no protections now whatsoever other than whatever the state law is. So I can't be a renter. I have to be a home owner. But home ownership is a lie. It's a myth. First off, they cheat you on this ridiculous thing where you pay so much more in interest up front than you're paying for the actual mortgage, the actual principal. So when I started my loan, I was paying 3 times as much interest per month as the amount that went towards the principal every month. Now I've got it up finally after several years where I've just now exceeded more principal than interest. Finally. But the escrow now is higher than either one of those. What a scam. What a total scam. It makes me a debt slave into perpetuity. Owning a home. What a joke. I don't own a home. I live here courtesy of the kindness of strangers who allow me for a huge monthly fee to live in the place. Yep. Yeah, mortgage means death contract. I agree. It is. This nonsense of building equity. I have done far better investing in the stock market over the past 4 decades than I'll ever do on a home owning bullshit. This is bullshit. This is just simply theft of my money every month. I'd be happier in Estonia. Estonia is where I'd be happier, but then we'd always face the threat of a Russian invasion. Actually, to be honest, I don't know where Lori Lettinen is at, but Finland is high on my list, and the Åland Islands would be the place I'd want to live. I'd have to learn Swedish, and I do my best to learn it pretty quickly. But this is sickening. I'm so tired of this garbage. So tired of it. But the Åland Islands, beautiful place. I'd love to be there for Skudefest every year. As you said, waste of your precious time when we could be doing more valuable things. Exactly. I could have been prepping for my news program. I have a medical appointment this afternoon. I could have been preparing for that. This morning, I had to postpone my recording of a weekly Megaphone sports broadcast with MW because I had to go collect furniture for the Veterans Organization that was being generously donated by someone. Used furniture, chairs, and some tables and things which we could really use. But anyway, Pip Jacobs, welcome to you. I missed you there popping in. All right, Fleshin is here. I miss Fleshin popping in as well. 99 people currently here, folks. Be sure to hit the like button as I rant about being debt slaves and being part of the Matrix. We're all part of the Matrix here. Hey, there's George. South Africa's real estate sector is a nightmare. It is. Charles saying someone blames him for... yeah, well, that's... Are you talking about John Jarvis? Yeah, I don't know what John Jarvis is talking about. You had nothing to do with that, so it's just his own thoughts there. Yeah, their English is pretty good. Yeah, but if I'm living in the Åland Islands, I want to speak Swedish. You think that the U.S. is too big to be governed properly? No, I don't, Emery. I don't. I think the U.S. has a perfect system. Countries can be large as long as they have a federal system with restrained, centralized powers. The purpose of the federal government is limited. As per the Constitution, a document that's been urinated on and defecated on by our political elite for the past 4 or 5 decades. So, under the 10th Amendment of the Constitution, let me read this to you. I've read it before. It's very short. It's just one sentence. The power is not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people. When you live under a system like that of federalism, then things are easy. Things are controlled. We have national government, which has constrained power, which is out of control and not constrained. We have state governments, which have constrained power, which is out of control and not constrained. We have local county administrations. Then we have municipal administrations. We have township administrations. We have all the government we need. The problem is we have too much government by an out-of-control federal government, which courtesy of the 16th Amendment, is it not? Is it not the 16th Amendment that gave us taxation? This sickening amendment which destroyed the nature of this country. 13th, 14th, 15th, and where is the 16th? I do believe it was the 16th. Yeah, 16th Amendment. February 3rd, 1913, a dark day in American history. The Congress shall have power to lay and collect taxes on incomes from whatever source derived without apportionment among the several states and without regard to any census or enumeration. So that gave the federal government the right to tax our incomes, and that's when our liberty began to disappear in this country. The inexorable growth of the federal government as a consequence of that idiotic amendment. And I'm all in favor of an Article 5 convention to repeal the 16th Amendment. Gray says, also, why is America doing the same thing with illegals? Apparently New York is a serious scooter crime problem. Doing the same thing is, okay, why is Europe being taken over by people with radically different cultures? Is Europe the only place that doesn't respect the indigenous rights of its own people? I like what you say there, indigenous rights. Yeah, in the mind of these leftists, indigenous is only someone whose skin is brown or darker. No, indigenous are the people who come from that area. And so the Alsatians, the Lothrinians, the Württembergers, the Hessens. What the hell? I'm going to fly in here. How did he get in here? Anyway, and he's back. Dude, you better not fly around me. You will die. That fly came back twice now. I better find something else to do with his time. Yeah, no, it's all part of an effort to destroy the world. It's an effort. Look, this. I mean, did you watch the Matrix movies? What did you see in the Matrix? In the first Matrix, you had Neo and a fair number of white folks that were involved in it. Then, as each movie went on, what you saw was melange and everybody turning brown and doing their bizarre dances inside of, what was the name of the place? Zion. Yeah, and everybody was brown except for Neo and his girlfriend. Yeah. So that's what they want. They want to destroy, make everybody the same, and make us all serfs and not allow us to have any differences, that we cherish our differences. Some people find those with blue eyes to be dead sexy. Other people find those with a dark skin hue to be dead sexy. Some people, like the Bangmanwato, find those with rather large derrieres to be quite sexy. We should be allowed our differences and to cherish them. Finland's a great place. My buddy stays there. Moved in 2019, says Charles Van Onselen. Yep, Ravani Frybus is here. Marilyn Brokenshaw. Hey, Marilyn, how you doing? I interpret what you're saying as some sort of bloat. Do you think that it can be fixed? It can be better to replace with something new? No, federalism is the perfect solution. It is. Federalism works brilliantly. The problem is to put the constraints back in place. But governments have simply ignored the law. I mean, look at Joe Biden and Barack Hussein Obama. Simply, hang on a second. Sorry about that. I don't have a fly swatter here. I need something next time. I missed him. I'm pretty sure he got away, but he's hiding for the moment. I really hate flies. Really hate flies. And there are no flies in my house. The temperature's too cold. I don't know. He must have slipped in when I opened the front door earlier. The World Economic Forum and the Kalergi Agenda. I don't know what a Kalergi Agenda is, Ravani. You'll have to get online lessons of my half Swedish, half Finnish daughter-in-law. Plus, she went to Union States, so she speaks your barbaric English. Oh, Flesh. Listen to the man. Listen to the man who should be speaking Welsh and not English. Telling me it's my barbaric. No, Emery, it's not. It's not bloat. It's a great system, but it's out of control because governments simply ignore the law. Shutting down the Keystone XL pipeline is not the authority of the President of the United States. He's no authority to regulate it. The only thing that he could do is what Barack Obama did, which was frankly quite illegitimate. He said we have to have a national security assessment because it crosses an international border with Canada. God forbid Canada be an unfriendly nation. Well, that was before Juicy Trudeau became prime minister. Now they are an unfriendly nation. But yeah, so Barack Obama called for a national security study, dragged it out by the State Department for like 3 or 4 years. Then he got the recommendations and he said there was no threat. And he simply ignored it, signed an executive order in violation of the Constitution, stopping it. And people just didn't do it. He has no authority whatsoever. It's like Donald Trump will ban abortion. That's idiotic. The president has no power to ban abortion. Congress has no power to ban abortion. Congress has no power to approve abortion. It's not specifically enumerated in the Constitution. Therefore, that power falls to the respective states and or the people. Simple as that. That's why Roe versus Wade was an abomination. But then so is Plessy versus Ferguson. Separate but equal. Yep. What do you think about a Swiss-style confederalism? A confederacy is a confederation is not much different than what we have. Yep, there's a bit more autonomy in those confederations, though. It works for the Swiss, but no one else. I was invited to live in Finland. Went to Tasmania State. Tasmania was a big mistake. Yep, Erica. Gray says the world needs to move to the right. Well, it's trying. Charles says, can't handle flies, just like mozzies. I hate them. Yep. The Kalergi plan, sometimes called the Kalergi conspiracy, is debunked far-right anti-Semitic white genocide. I never heard of it, Debbie. See, that's what's so funny. These leftists attack me and like, oh, he's a right-wing supremacist, white supremacist. What? I don't know what you're talking about. I've never seen the Klan in person. Never, my entire life. I'm 50 plus years old, never seen the Klan. The only time I ever saw the Ku Klux Klan was on television in 1978 when they opposed busing in Ohio. Federally mandated busing. They showed up in Columbus at a rally, and WBNS and the other news stations covered it. And I'm watching on TV, and there's like 16 people there. They look silly. And this, I never heard of this Kalergi. That's like the what's the guy? The who's the guy that they're all got their oh gosh, who's the ultra right wing guy with a conspiracy that they're all talking about? Anon, that guy. Quebec Anon, that guy. Can't say the whole thing because you get censored on this platform. Never even heard of him. Never heard of the guy. I love how they take people who are centrist or slightly conservative like I am and make us out to be wackadoodles when we simply believe in following the rule of law. The rule of law. It's not hard. If a law is immoral, then you change it. Well, that's because the people insisting that conservatism is racist are the actual racist. They're deflecting, Chris. They're calling other people what they are. And that's what's going on. Well, Tasmania is high on my list. I wouldn't mind living. The only problem with Tasmania is it's part of Australia. I think it should be an independent country. Yeah, Debbie had to Google it. Yeah, exactly. I never heard of it. Never heard of it. I thought the name was spelled wrong. Yep. Yeah, no, not Alex Jones. I was talking about Quebec Anon, that guy. Never even heard of the guy. Never even read anything from him. Yep. Conservative views are just preserving respect, laws, and ideology. Exactly. I've been reading the PDF of the Heritage Foundation's Project 25. Do you have any comments on it? It's incredibly long. And I've only read the introduction. So not really much to say. It has multiple articles. I would take some time to read all of it. You'll have to give me time, Emery, to read through it. This is a very long document. I'm not really sure what their goal was here. In fact, let me see. I've downloaded a copy of it recently. Let me see if I can find it there very quickly. No, that's my bill. It's my water bill. There it is. I think that's it right there. Yeah, Mandate for Leadership. That's the one. Found it. Yeah, it is. How many pages? Why doesn't this thing tell me how many pages? Normally it tells you how many pages are here, but this one won't tell me how many pages are in it. It's ridiculous. Let me see. 720. Yeah, there you go. So 700, 800. I mean, I can't take a document like that seriously. Project 2025 is 887 pages long. Seriously? Seriously? What a joke. If it takes 800 pages to get your point across, then maybe something's wrong with your point. Yeah, I'm a conservative, but I mean, this is ridiculous. So section 1 is taking reins of government. Talk with the White House, Executive Office of President, Central Personnel Bureau agencies, then the Common Defense, then General Welfare, the economy, independent regulatory agencies. Yeah, most of this is eaten up in the General Welfare section. So let me see. Acknowledgements. And they have some acknowledgements, all these people, advisory boards. I don't really care to read all that. So they've got a note on it. They've got 4 pillars. Then they have to tell us all their authors. I don't really care who these authors are. Don't know most of them. And then contributors, people who paid for it. It's a long list of people who paid for it. Apparently don't mind having their name. So here is the forward. And the forward is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's not a forward. That's a chapter. 12, 13. Who has a forward that is 14 pages long? What a joke. I'm sorry. It's 16 plus pages long, this forward. That's unwieldy. All right, let me go back and just read part of the forward here just to get you started, give you an idea what this is all about. It's from the Heritage Foundation, a group I have no issues with. So let me get to... So they hang on a second. So they have these promises and pillars. So let me get back to the beginning. So 44 years ago, the United States and the conservative movement were in dire straits. Both had been betrayed by the Washington establishment, were uncertain whom to trust. Both were internally splintered and strategically adrift. Worse still, at that moment of acute vulnerability and division, we found ourselves besieged by existential adversaries, foreign and domestic. The late 1970s were by any measure a historic low point for America and the political coalition dedicated to preserving its unique legacy of human flourishing and freedom. Today, America and the conservative movement are enduring an era of division and danger akin to the late 1970s. Now as then, our political class has been discredited by wholesale dishonesty and corruption. Look at America under the ruling cultural elite today. Inflation is ravaging family budgets, drug overdose deaths continue to escalate, and children suffer the toxic normalization of transgenderism with drag queens and pornography invading their school libraries. Overseas, a totalitarian communist dictatorship in Beijing is engaged in a strategic, cultural, and economic Cold War against America's interests, values, and people, all while globalist elites in Washington awaken only slowly to that growing threat. Moreover, low-income communities are drowning in addiction and government dependence. Contemporary elites have been even repurposed the worst ingredients of the 1970s, radical chic, to build a totalitarian cult known today as the Great Awakening. And now, as then, the Republican Party seems to have little understanding about what to do. Most alarming of all, the very moral foundations of our society are in peril. Yet students of history will note that notwithstanding all those challenges, the late 1970s proved to be the moment when the political right unified itself in the country and led the United States to historic political, economic, and global victories. That's true. But the problem is we had Ronald Reagan in 1979. We don't have Ronald Reagan today. We don't have him. Let's see. What else? Good evening from a very cold Parle. Ernst, I didn't know you were in Parle. Okay. All right. You don't see conservatives going to rampage if they look like they're losing. No, they don't. Of course not. I mean, the Tories just got obliterated. They're not on a rampage. But they're not really conservative. Embry says, I'm about halfway through it, and basically they're providing a framework for the entirety of a 4-year term. Well, I don't need 800 pages for entirety of a 4-year term. Secure the border. Stop violating the Constitution. Prosecute the criminals in the bureaucracy and in the political office and the ones who've left political office, and get spending under control. You're going to have to means test benefits. It's just going to have to start, or we're going to go bankrupt. The currency will collapse. So that's a very simple recipe. I can write it in one page to restore America to greatness, to its position in the world, and to safety and security here at home, and to get control of inflation. Very simple. Very simple. There's a lot more detail to it, but that's the basic pillars of it. I don't need an 800-page tome written by people looking for attention. Look, I'm not attacking the Heritage Foundation. I'm just saying that this is a ridiculously long document. Levin says, imagine how much of the shock Garrett and I got in 93 when we came to D.C. and stayed in a bed and breakfast with Mr. Bird. Mr. Bird. I don't know who that is. Jan Durant says, I'm not in favor of Trump's second term. I stand with Israel and Ukraine, and I'm an Afrikaner. Well, I don't stand with Ukraine. Ukraine is a corrupt country that fostered a conflict and is benefiting from a proxy war for the benefit of its corrupt leader, Volodymyr Zelensky. So I feel for the Ukrainian people. I don't support Russia, their illegal aggression, but I don't support Ukraine. It's a corrupt state, and it should not be in NATO. Awesome that you're an Afrikaner with a French surname, and not in favor of second term of Trump. Well, I ask you, Jan, what is the option? You prefer to have Joe Biden? The man is senile. I mean, this is embarrassing. Have you read Shantaram? No, not familiar with that. Did you see the Australian Prime Minister Albanese placed his Jewish friend into a government position to investigate anti-Semitism, but his own policies are pro-Hamas? Yeah, I know. It's comical, to say the very least. Look, there's 5 pro-Islamist members of Parliament in the United Kingdom elected as independent candidates. 5 pro-Hamas, pro-Islamist in Britain's Parliament. And guess where they're sitting in the seats in Parliament? Right next to Nigel Farage and his Reform Party, because they split the Conservative vote. How's it going, Jose? Is Ronaldo here? I didn't see Ronaldo. Speaking of which, it's time to put that up. Somebody said, how's it going, Ronaldo? I didn't see that. Alan Kutz is here. Blueprint for the first 100 days of conservative presidency. We don't need a blueprint. It's very simple. Stop the bleeding. Triage. Stop the bleeding. And go from there. It's very simple. Federalize the National Guard and deploy them to the border. Richard Lambert, you're back. Good to see you again. James Bowie. Ruth First. Ruth First. Don't get me started on her. Sandy Hunt. Welcome, Sandy. How's it going? Writing any more books? Going on 30 years in Parle. Moving soon, though. Oh, okay, Ernst. Well, did you come to my meet and greet? I'm trying to remember. Jan Filion's here. Emery says, fair enough. My comments get taken down, and there's nothing offensive about it. Ruvani, they're being taken down by YouTube. Nobody's taking your comments down here. I don't even see them, so they're never even getting in. So sorry for that. USA has two horrible choices. Well, I don't think they're horrible choices. Trump is not a horrible choice, not a great choice at this stage. He would have been a great choice for this term, and it was time for him to move on. But he's not a great choice for the next one, but he's certainly better than the opposite, the alternative. How can they be pro-Hamas? Well, how can Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Ilhan Omar and Ayanna Pressley and all the other scumbags on the political left be pro-Hamas? How can they come out in support of Hamas when it's a banned terrorist organization? Yeah, you're right. It's a good question. Yep, the orange man is pro-American. Yep. And he isn't senile. Thank you for that. He's also effective as a leader. People just believe. I am the fly, Christopher, says David Curtis. Who is Christopher? So people actually believe the garbage they read about Trump in the media. It's all bullshit. First off, he hasn't committed any crimes. That's the first thing. They should be censored. I don't know about censored. They should be censured, not censored, but censured. Censured. I think that's what you're trying to say. You wrote censured. I'm sorry, you got it right, Charles. That's the right word. They should be censured. Yep. Let's get to the news, folks, before everybody disappears on us. 105 people. 2 people just left. I guess they didn't get what they were looking for. Be sure to hit the like button. Only 57 likes. That kind of hurts my feelings.
That was easy.
Gonna make me cry. I'm gonna have to sniff. What's this? Oh, this was the stuff for my nose. Nasal spray. Let's see what that is. Why is that? Oh, there. That's how it comes off. There we go. Woo! Woo! This is prescription. Woo! I've done that a long time. Woo! Woo! What is Ronaldo up to? I think he's about 5 feet 4 inches tall. Whoa! Dad joke. Lad dad jokes. All right, so I don't have an update on the amount of money for Ronaldo. I do have an update on him, though. He's alive and well. And I also can bring that up once again. So let me just bring that up. If anyone wants to help him, it's welcome to do that. Why is it not coming up? There we go. Thank you. My computer doesn't always play nice. All right, so now my nose feels like it's going to run. So, folks, if you want to help Ronaldo, you believe in his cause, you believe in his case, you believe he's innocent, and I see no reason to doubt that, you are welcome to support him, and here's one way you can do it right there. That's the account. It's ABSA, the Allied Banks of South Africa, and there's the account number. So, and there is, make sure you reference Ronaldo Jos, otherwise they might give the money to the wrong account. There you go. His suspension isn't permanent. It's while they investigate things. And you can't appeal a suspension, I don't believe. You can appeal the decision. Yeah, take a screenshot, folks, if you want to help out. There you go. And help raise money for Ronaldo. This is an incredibly expensive venture here. But let me tell you this. I think if the courts aren't captured, when this is all over, if his attorneys pursue going after the media who have libeled him repeatedly and the people who've slandered him on the radio, if his attorneys want to go after them, oh boy, my goodness, Ronaldo could become one of the richest white monopoly capitalists in all of Africa. It's the behavior of the media has been reprehensible in making false allegations. I mean, claims of homophobic comments. That's not even in any of the videos they're talking about. And congratulations, kudos to Citizen Concern, who had the temerity, the audacity to play the entire video on YouTube, risking sanctioning. But of course, it's not much of a risk. She's in South Africa, and censorship of videos in South Africa is carried out by YouTube in South Africa, and they don't censor anything. During the lockdown, all the South African YouTubers could say whatever they wanted about masks and about jabs and everything, and then I never even said anything, and I was accused of it and had my channel attacked all the time because my censorship regime is here in America, not there. Vander Duplessis says, please, no more Biden into the hectic winds and Betty's today. Wow, 120 kilometers per hour. That's not so good. I think Anthony Blinken would be a better president. No. Winking, blinking, and nod? No, that guy is a devoted leftist who doesn't know his butt from a hole in the ground. Yako says it's a pity Vivek is out of the race for American president. I think he would have been a good president. Yeah, I think so. I think he's a good choice. Free Ronaldo, free Ronaldo. Yeah, so there you go. Michael Holmes back. The thing about FLC is that once it revokes your membership, you cannot get it back. Well, Ronaldo hasn't had his membership revoked, Michael. So maybe are you just sharing a point here of interest here? Ronaldo has been suspended pending investigation. If the Democratic Alliance is smart, the investigation will take time to play out and do a thorough investigation. And quite frankly, I'm sure that's what they're doing, so this thing dies down. But the Daily Maverick ran an article the other day misleading people with fake news, and it's unfortunate. Vivek should stick around, but the Republicans should do everything to get Trump as many votes as possible because the left will vote Biden again, or worse, Kamala. Yep, right, Ravani, yep. Courts are more corrupt than the dictatorship they protect. Yeah, I have to think that's the case many times. Yep. All right, so we were getting to the news here, but folks in Citrusdal, a place that I traveled to on my trip early last year, I traveled there to cover events after there had been some flooding and the road had been washed out and Citrusdal was isolated. So Citrusdal is dealing with floods again. Bad mojo for them after they fixed the road last year. Scores of residents evacuated as heavy rainfall and strong winds continue. Parts of Citrusdal and the Cedarburg are inaccessible due to bad weather conditions. More than 20 people had to be evacuated. More evacuations are expected on Tuesday. Residents have been notified through various channels to be in a state of readiness. Most of the residents have been evacuated, have been placed in community halls where food, warm blankets, and clothing have been provided. Wow. So Citrusdal, once again, under the pump for the bad weather. Durban gets a new mayor, and although the largest party in the coalition ruling eThekwini happens to be the Inkatha Freedom Party, it's not the Inkatha Freedom Party. The Democratic Alliance withdrew its candidate for mayor, and the ANC, the party that destroyed Durban, that turned Durban into Dirtbin, is actually the party that has the mayoral position. Go figure. The ANC holds on to its seat. Durban gets an ANC mayor. The DA in eThekwini reversed an earlier decision to field its own candidate for the position of Metro Mayor, paving the way for the ANC's candidate to be elected unopposed. eThekwini caucus leader Tabani Matewa confirmed that the decision was reversed shortly after Cyril Khaba was elected mayor. Wow. The IFP will handle the human settlements. The DA will handle infrastructure for that portfolio. Wow. In the National Assembly, Rise Mzansi Songizi Ziba has been elected unopposed as chair of the Standing Committee on Public Accounts. Wow, that's interesting. Action SA's Athol Trollop was touted for the position. He arrived late to sitting after his DB's election. Well, there you go. Interesting. Scopa goes to Rise Mzansi with, 2 seats in Parliament. Charles says, my mind's going blank now. Shame. I don't agree the Dipshit Alliance should have stood their ground, says Chris Ayler's the Dipshit Alliance. Is membership revoked? That would happen, do you think? Yeah, the DA could revoke his membership in the party, but then Gate McKenzie's invited him to his party as long as he apologizes for being a racist, which he's not. So I guess he can't join the PA. I don't think it's going to happen. There are people in the DA, in my view, who clearly do not like Ronaldo and are envious of his fame and his grounded centrist. Look, he's still politically left, but he's mostly in the important things he's grounded in the center, which is good for society. But there's nothing wrong with being on the left. I'm just saying, he's not a conservative as such. But it's there are people that there are leftists, hardcore leftists in the DA who obviously don't like him, and I think they're actively working behind the scenes. Who knows? But the DA needs to let this play out, and I think a long investigation is fine. So we'll see what happens. Yes, Ian Cameron doing very well because their attack on him didn't stick. Blackface is not a South African tradition. It's not a South African slur. It's an American sort of thing, going back to minstrel shows when white people played black characters and played them as buffoons, and so it has a negative connotation. But blackface is not something associated with South Africa, so it just did not stick. And he was appointed to a committee today, so we'll talk about that too. Yeah, it's procedural. Gets suspended the outcome. Exactly. He's not gone at all. He's just suspended, so they can do that to anybody at any time. Charles says, my name is Brandon, but my mind's gone blank. John Jarvis is back. Personally, I would have thought that the DA would have made a decision by now, regardless. No, John, no. As I predicted, the DA will be clever. This is something they should spend 2 or 3 months dealing with, sorting this out for 2 or 3 months, investigating it thoroughly, and being prepared for a backlash. Because whatever decision they reach, there's going to be a backlash. If they suspend him or kick him out of the party, there's going to be a backlash. If he stays, there's going to be a backlash. So the smart thing is to let this thing die down. And quite frankly, with it going to the court, it really puts the DA in a position where they really need to take it down. The South African Captured Human Rights Commission has really put themselves out there and made a huge mistake in pursuing this. Yeah, the Ian Cameron threat just faded because there was nothing to it. Yep, Erica says her lawyers advise to be very quiet during the months of a court case. Can't talk. It must be worse for Enola. Exactly. Especially somebody that spends so much time on social media. It must be very difficult for him. There's nothing wrong with the DA. Look at the Gauteng crap show. They rolled over and died when the ANC did as they please. Yep. Well, the DA was correct in not entering the government with Panyaza Lesufi. Panyaza Lesufi's government will not survive. It will not survive. Total and Shell, BP have left South African investors running for it. Well, yeah, and Volkswagen has said they're only staying out of loyalty, not because they're making money. So, another corruption situation. Life Estedimeni, the former health MEC, Kidani Malangu, and Dr. Makabo Manamela caused the deaths of mentally ill patients, according to this report. An inquest has found that the actions of former Gauteng Health MEC and former head of Gauteng Mental Health caused the deaths of 144 mentally ill patients in the Life Estedimeni tragedy. Judge Momona Tefo chaired the inquest and released the judgment today. Wow. The purpose of the inquest is for the court to determine who should be held accountable for the deaths of 141 mentally ill people who died after they're transferred from facilities in 2015-2016 to ill-equipped non-governmental organizations. Evidence presented showed that the two doctors should be held responsible for the negligence which led to the deaths of the patients. So why were they transferred to these NGOs? Probably corrupt money ties on that. Vodacom is letting workers go, firing 631 workers over fraud. Corporate Security Division has investigated more than 8,000 cases of alleged fraud or irregularities, and Vodacom has dismissed 631 contractors and workers for fraud in the year that ended March. From April 1st of 2023 to March 31st, 2024, the group's Corporate Security Divisions investigated over 8,652 cases of alleged fraud or irregularities, of which 6,872 related to external and 1,780 to internal cases. Wow, so Vodacom can't even trust the people who work for the company. That's a scary thought, ladies and gentlemen. Cyber criminals fleeced the Department of Public Works, according to the new minister, Dean McPherson. A total of $24 million was stolen in the most recent incident, prompting the suspension of 4 department officials. Department of Public Works and Infrastructure has lost at least $300 million to cybercrime over the past 10 years, and the amount could rise as investigations continue, according to the new minister, Dean McPherson. And this is one benefit of having the Democratic Alliance in government. While I'm not a fan of the Democratic Alliance, at least these people tend to be honest. In the most recent incident, cyber attackers stole a further $24 million, prompting a full forensic investigation by the Hawks, SAPS, the State Security Agency, and experts in the information technology field and cybersecurity industry. 4 officials have been suspended, 3 of whom are in senior management, and the 4th in middle management. The investigation seized 30 laptops. The department was forced to shut down its payment system, causing significant delays in paying creditors. It has been clear that the department has been a soft target and playground for cyber criminals for over a 10-year period, and this should have been picked up a lot earlier. What Dean McPherson did say is that the department has been controlled by the ANC for the past X number of years, and that they are responsible for this theft. Yeah, but of course they're in a government of national unity, so we're not going to hear them attacking the ANC. Who's responsible for this? More information on the storms in the Western Cape. A level 8 weather warning has closed several school districts. Wow. Transnet was on high alert as the storms battered South Africa's harbors and a cargo ship had to be evacuated. Swells were forecast as high as 10 meters. 10 meters, folks. That is 30 feet. That's pretty scary. You can swamp a boat with that. VBS looter Kingpin has pled guilty to 33 charges as part of an agreement. One of the men at the center of VBS Mutual Bank heist that saw more than $1.9 billion stolen pled guilty to charge of theft, fraud, money laundering, and racketeering. Former VBS chairperson Shifiwa Matodzizi pled guilty to 33 charges as part of a plea agreement, sentenced to an effective 15 years imprisonment as part of the deal. He destroyed people's lives, likely led to some suicides. He gets just 15 years in prison. Police have arrested someone in the case of the murder of 2 public policing forum members in Heidelberg. Gauteng police have arrested 1 person for the murder and attempted murder of 2 top Heidelberg crime fighters. Chairperson of the Heidelberg Community Policing Forum, Flip Minar, was critically injured, while his colleague Etienne Duprier was killed shortly after they attended their meeting at a local restaurant. This happened the other day. A 30-year-old man is expected to appear in the Heidelberg Magistrates Court on Wednesday. This is after the unknown assailant escaped on a motorcycle after he drove by and shot them execution style, both in the head. Wow. Lower growth forecast for Zimbabwe as drought bites in Zimbabwe, Malawi, and Zambia. Zimbabwe's revised its economic growth forecast downward as Southern Africa's worst drought in decades ravages crops and yields. It is not Southern Africa's worst drought. It is part of Southern Africa's worst drought. Meanwhile, Botswana and South Africa are heavily watered this year. No issues there. Finance Minister Mthuli Ncube said economic growth is forecast at 2%, down from 3.5% due to the El Nino-induced drought that has led to widespread crop failure. Yeah, El Nino. Israel has called on people to evacuate Gaza City after pummeling the town. The Israeli military issued a sweeping call for residents of Gaza City to leave the area after days of punishing airstrikes across the enclave. Maneuvers that suggest Israel's high-intensity campaign against Hamas is not over, even as the specter of full-scale war with Hezbollah in Lebanon grows by the hour. Scary stuff. China has launched a probe into the European Union's attack on its dumping of solar panels in Europe. China launched an investigation in response to EU probes of solar, wind power, and other products. The investigation will focus on wind power, photovoltaics, security equipment, and electric trains. The EU has issued a new regulation to investigate companies bidding for projects within the European Union. These include a probe into whether Chinese subsidies give wind turbines an unfair advantage in the competition for projects in Spain, Greece, France, Romania, and Bulgaria. And they do. And they dump these products in Europe. France's leftist coalition is demanding a new government. Sounds a lot like the government of National Unity in South Africa. France's leftist coalition demands the right to form a government after a fractured parliamentary vote. Look at that picture right there. There's almost no French people there. That's former French President Francois Hollande. The leftist coalition that won the most seats in France's National Assembly in surprise results demanded Tuesday the immediate right to form a government, even though no grouping won a majority of seats. Well, they can form a government, but it won't last very long. Excuse me just a moment here, folks. This may be something related to my appointment. Nope. That's someone for politics. Don't bother me. NATO, the latest on the NATO summit, folks. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which betrays its purpose. Winking, blinking, and nod says Ukraine irreversibly on path to NATO as long as it continues reforms. U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken indicated that Ukraine was irreversibly on a path to joining NATO as long as it continues reforms. In my estimation, at least success is a strong, independent Ukraine, increasingly integrated with your Atlantic institutions like the European Union, like NATO, and is able to stand on its own feet, militarily, economically, and democratically. Yeah, okay, no, thank you. Not part of NATO. You want to join the European Union? That's on you. The European Space Agency has resumed its sovereignty over its launches with the successful launch of the Ariane 6 rocket yesterday, which we covered on our sister channel at Real Chris Wyatt. You can watch that live stream over there and watch the Ariane 6, an incredible flight, but not without a problem. A default caused the failure to deploy the final satellites. Space bosses hailed Europe's return to space after the Ariane 6 rocket successfully carried out a series of trials in the debut flight yesterday. But the mission ended with the launcher coasting in orbit without releasing its final batch of payloads. Yep. Europe is back in space, says Philippe Baptiste, head of France's space agency. However, a third firing had to be abandoned after a smaller power unit shut itself down for unspecified reasons, meaning the final batch of payloads, 2 small capsules designed to test the conditions for surviving re-entry, remained stuck on board the craft. So much for that. So pretty successful flight, though. The leader of Poland also into the mix, claiming that Ukraine should be joining NATO. He says, seeks a quick entry for Ukraine, and repudiates the call to cede territory for peace. Wow. President Poland on Tuesday sharply rejected the notion of any ceasefire deal that would require Ukraine to cede territory, drawing a clear line in the sand, while China, fellow NATO ally Hungary, and some leading American politicians are amplifying calls for rapid negotiated end to the conflict. Polish President Andrzej Duda, whose nation is the most powerful NATO member bordering Ukraine, stood firm on the issue of a wide-ranging exclusive interview with the Washington Times. He warned the threat from the Russian President Vladimir Putin is at least as dangerous as Soviet Russia at the height of the Cold War. There's even a question that Putin's Russia might be more brutal and more determined than Soviet Russia was back then. Yeah, I think that's hyperbole, to say the very least. Well, shameful is what American politicians are calling Justin Trudeau and the cowardly Canadians. Justin Trudeau called out by Americans over failure to hit the NATO spending target. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, his government has been trying to figure out how to show when Canada can finally hit its decades-old NATO commitment on defense spending as the Transatlantic Alliance opened its annual summit yesterday. Prime Minister Trudeau was trying to figure out how he's going to show they pay for it. One government official told the Toronto Star, that discussions continued Tuesday over how Canada could demonstrate a timeline to hit the higher defense spending, something that would require Ottawa to devote billions of extra dollars to the military at a time when the Trudeau Liberals are preaching fiscal restraint and spending money big money on domestic social programs. The source has spoken condition anonymity, said Canada's failure to hit the NATO target came up in meetings on Monday and Tuesday with American politicians, and the government was aware that Canada was being called out for falling short. Exactly. On Monday, U.S. House Representative Speaker Mike Johnson said in a widely reported remarks that it's shameful Canada still hasn't hit its 2% target. He accused Canada of riding in America's coattails, and I think Mike Johnson must be watching my program because I've been calling Canada out for some time, including yesterday, for that same reason. They are freeloaders. Nancy Pelosi is suggesting that Joe Biden should rethink his decision to stay in the race. The corrupt former Speaker of the House of Representatives, the vile politician from California, is saying that, She gave a curious answer when asked on MSNBC if Mr. Biden has her support. She says, up to the president to decide if he's going to run. We're all encouraging him to make that decision because time is running short. In other words, she has abandoned Joe Biden. Let's abandon her. Well, when asked a direct question about what happens if a nuclear missile's en route from Russia to the United States, Karine Jean-Pierre, the White House's press secretary, America's favorite Haitian lesbian and propagandist, had a bizarre answer. Wow. The White House gives shocking response when asked if Biden would deal with a nuclear attack after 8 o'clock and is grilled on, So, Fox News' Peter Doocy referred to President Biden's comments to governors he would schedule fewer events after 8 p.m. so he could get more sleep. Doocy asked, if there was a nuclear strike past that time, who would deal with it? The First Lady? And Karine Jean-Pierre said he has a team that lets him know any news that's pertinent and important to the American people. It's the National Security Council that gets to tell him. Excuse me? He has a team. Well, talk about deflecting that one. There's a question. We'll just ignore that. Russian hackers have infiltrated the Veterans Administration. Wow, brilliant. They've accessed our personal information. Well done, United States government. Microsoft-based Veterans Affairs account was accessed in January by Russian hackers, but no personal information or other data was compromised, according to an agency official. Do you believe that? Do you believe no personal information was compromised? I don't. Russian state-sponsored hacker infiltrated a Microsoft platform called Microsoft Azure Government, which provides storage, databases, and other services to the Veterans Administration. Veterans Administration Press Secretary Terrence Hayes told Military Times in an email that the server was breached for just 1 second, presumably to see if the credentials worked, by a group called Midnight Blizzard or Nobelium, which has ties to the Russian government. After investigating the matter, we determined that no patient data was compromised. The VA found that Midnight Blizzard used a single set of stolen credentials to access Microsoft Cloud, and we're continuing to look into this matter with Microsoft to ensure that all veteran patient data remains protected and we're not compromised in the future. And I trust the U.S. government about as far as I can throw them, and I can't throw them anywhere, so there you go. Well, the Adirondack Explorer tells us that 2 employees of the Tractor Supply Store have resigned over its decision not to give preferential status to people based on their sexual orientation or their skin color. These advantage-seeking bigots and racists didn't want to work there, apparently. As the company rolls back its diversity, equality, and inclusiveness, which means lack of diversity, inequality, and inequity, the environmental policies, a rollback company court policies at National Farm and Garden Chain has led to implications. 2 employees have resigned at the Tractor Supply Store's Ray Brock location after they announced their plans. According to the Adirondack Daily Enterprise, the former general manager of the company's only Adirondack location, Joe Montella, said he and other employees felt betrayed by Tractor Supply's statement and policy realignment. Montella, who identifies as a gay man, said some customers have told him they no longer patronize. Well, Mr. Montella, I will spend more money at the Tractor Supply Store now that they don't give you special privilege because of your sexual orientation. You don't deserve any special privileges. If you are competent to be the manager, great. Well, apparently you were. Or did you only get there because of your sexual orientation? Giving people advantage based on artificial means is immoral or racist, depending on how it's done. So screw you, Mr. Monteo. Feel betrayed? I feel betrayed by your DEI garbage, which is anti-white, anti-Christian, anti-male. And anything that's anti is not right. It's morally broken. SpaceX rolls out the Starship Super Heavy booster for the 5th test. They're gearing up for the 5th test flight, which could be just a few weeks from now. So I know that Hendo is just waiting for the kaboom. The kaboom is coming, Hendo. The kaboom is coming. It's not a national news headline, Michael. It's national because I covered it, but I'm just covering it because I keep covering the evolving Tractor Supply Store. That's a local paper, the Adirondack News. So I don't just do national, I do local. And here's another example of it. The corrupt regime of the failed Attorney General who violated the law, and now the governor of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro, is wasting our tax dollars coming up with new license plates to replace the hideous-looking blue and yellow plates that we've had for a long time. In advance of events coming for our 250th anniversary, Pennsylvania will have new hideous-looking license plates that will get filthy in a matter of moments because they're white. Instead of having blue plates emblazoned with white letters, they've got a white plate with blue letters. Let it freedom ring. Pennsylvania has a new license plate to celebrate the 250th anniversary. The new design was unveiled by crooked Governor Josh Shapiro yesterday morning. Pennsylvania is the birthplace of our democracy and our freedom. In 2026, we'll celebrate America's 250th anniversary right here in the Commonwealth, where it started. With all eyes on Pennsylvania, our new license plates will celebrate that heritage and remind the country that here in Pennsylvania, we let freedom ring. No, you don't, Josh Shapiro. You're part of the criminal cabal who silenced Americans, silenced our speech, stole the events of 2020. You are a fraud. You are a dishonest, corrupt politician whose party spent $63 million to pilfer an election for governor. So, yeah, this is what the sign's going to look like. This is ridiculous, too. We're going to have these new signs. We're going to put all these new signs up as you enter the state of Pennsylvania. These big signs here. This is ridiculous. Gosh, Josh Shapiro, governor. Yep, 29 signs installed there. The first 8 have already been installed. US 15 in Adams County. That's the one that I'll see when I come back from Sunday. I'm going to Maryland. I'll be coming back, and I will see that sign. So I'll take a picture of that. That's on Route 15 entering Pennsylvania. Bucks County, the Ohio line in Erie County, Fulton County, Monroe County, Potter County, Susquehanna County, Tioga County, and 29 more signs. So 37 signs on entry points into the state. Will now be wasting that money. Yep. So CNN did an investigation into Airbnb and the illegal use of cameras to spy on clients. This is the reason why I'm not a fan of Airbnb. Takeaways from CNN's investigation: how Airbnb fails to protect its guests from hidden cameras. For years, Airbnb has known some of its hosts have used hidden cameras to secretly spy on guests, invading their most private and intimate moments. Yeah, they've repeatedly acknowledged this problem in their financial filings, but they've not done anything about it. They've generated tens of thousands of customer support tickets, but the company doesn't have a policy instructing employees to contact law enforcement about hidden cameras. Airbnb has also fought regulations that could protect users, and Airbnb does not perform background checks on all users. Even when it does, it tells customers not to rely on those checks. So Airbnb has got a new problem in that this is going on. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Gardner's idiotic 18-year-old daughter is demanding mask mandates. Mask mandates. Oh, Debbie, it happens all over. And if you are having sexual congress with a partner, people film the stuff. Yep. If you're self-pleasuring, people film the stuff. If you're naked, people film the stuff. It is unbelievable what's going on. One of the first things I do when I walk into, I've only been to a few Airbnbs and they're in France. The first thing I do is look for hidden cameras. Yep. But then I'm an old counterintelligence guy. That's just something you do. Robbie Starbucks leading the charge. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Oh, he's going after John Deere now. Okay, I didn't see that. Okay. All right. You're a meat sex who should not determine whether you get a job or not. Exactly. Yep. So Ben Affleck and Jennifer Gardner's idiotic 18-year-old daughter is demanding that people wear masks. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Gardner's 18-year-old daughter Violet has demanded the imposition of mask mandates in medical facilities and called for an end to all mask bans in a passionate plea to the governing body for Los Angeles County. The 18-year-old dingbat doorknob, citing her experience in contracting a post-viral condition in 2019, urged the LA County Board of Supervisors to confront the long Rona crisis by strengthening pandemic-era protections in hospitals and government buildings. I demand mask availability, air filtration, and far UVC light in government facilities, including jails and detention centers, and mask mandates in county medical facilities. You must expand the availability of high-quality, free test and treatment, and most importantly, the county must impose mask bans for any reason that do not keep us safer. Listen, this mentally deranged lunatic is not how we should be performing public policy. This woman has serious issues with her mental health, and here she is with Ben Affleck and J-Lo. There is Violet right there. She's not well. She's not well. Oh, here she is, not wearing her mask with her mom. Hypocrite, 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 hypocrite. Yep, that's in 2023, but she's complaining about something happened in 2019. So, Leftist lunacy, somebody writes from Twitter. This Violet Affleck kid is utterly deluded. She's still wearing a mask. Mask have never... Okay. We have it all. Waiting to see if Violet Affleck is going to pass out from struggling to breathe. So wait. Violet Affleck contracted post-viral infection before Rona in 2019, and her family still don't mask around her? Exactly. Oh my goodness. Hacktivists have broken into the Heritage Foundation and they've released 2 gigabytes of data. Politically oriented cybercrime group carried out the attack in response to Heritage's Project 2025. So that was being asked about earlier by Emery about the Project 2025. They've released 2 gigabytes of data, these criminals. Yep. An established cybercrime group with a track record of attacking political targets posted yesterday roughly 2 gigabytes of data from the Heritage Foundation. Self-described gay furry hackers, Sieged Sect, said it released the data in response to Heritage Foundation's Project 25. Includes blogs and material related to the Daily Signal, a right-wing media affiliated with the Heritage, and data was created between 2007 and November 2020. The group says it gained access data and released it to provide transparency to the public regarding who is exactly supporting Heritage. Wow. So this is outing people illegally. I hope these people are hunted down and prosecuted for being the criminals that they are. 97 people here. Oh, we lost 100. We were at 100. We lost it. Ruvan, God bless you. Ravani says millennials are watching Rome burn and they can't afford to fix it. We're broke. Yeah, well, they should stop burning Rome. That would stop me. David Curtis says 2024. I have no idea what that's all about, David. What's that all about? I was wondering where Mike is. I haven't seen Mike in a while. I also haven't seen Lori Letton. Where have these guys been hiding out at? What is happening to the West? Well, the Western civilization is collapsing. Who's your pick to replace Brandon? Mike? Gavin Newsom. Gruesome Gavin Newsom. What is Brandon's bedtime? I think 4 p.m. he calls a lid. Well, Brandon actually stepped down. No, I don't think he will. Jill is just demonically possessed for craving political power, and she thinks she runs the country. She probably does run the country. I thought it was actually Joe Biden's former affiliate, who is, of course, linked to Barack Obama, Susan Rice. Yep. Stay warm. It's cold in South Africa, says Pip Jacobs. Yeah, that's true. Is Pip leaving? Sorry to see you go. Really? 2 employees get national news headlines. Okay. In Sabi, we're praying for rain. Dust storms here. Sorry to hear that it's dust storms. Elon has so much money to play with. He does. I wish I had that kind of money. Okay. Rapid involuntary disassembly. Ouch. See, China failed a missile that was not supposed to take off and did. Oh, no, I didn't see it. There's that fly again. They were supposed to do a missile launch today. You're saying it failed? Matthew likes the license plate. Of course you do. Join the club, Chris. They keep changing our plates, too. Chinese rockets have been crashing very often. Okay, well, I'll have to see that. Who's getting that contract? Josh Shapiro. Indeed. Saw the sign, so I had to smoke coffee. What is David Curtis going on about? Matthew says hidden cameras. That's a great idea. Hendo says, wow, by Airbnb. Yeah. No. Yep. All right. What else? And we got another Thunberg wannabe. Yep. If you're stupid enough to use unchecked Airbnb, what do you expect? Felician says, bloody hell, I need to start checking Airbnbs. I wanted to start my summer trip. Charles says, I got me a wife. What? Oh, that'd keep you warm. Okay. Debbie wants to know what's with millennials. Well, most of them got real serious issues. Some don't. You think Brandon would be against masks? How the hell eat ice cream with him? Mine's going blank. I don't know. Ursula says, come on, where'd he go? He's back. Hate my generation, says Matthew. The millennials are watching Rome burn. Okay. I have no B or T cells and susceptible to infections, but don't wear a mask. Okay. Gosh, God bless it. Bastard, go away. Go away. Now he's trying to get my leg. Why do they do that? There's nothing on me for them to eat. No moisture. I'm not sweating. Brandon and Jill probably have their own steering wheels in their limo. That could be true. Would it help if more mask protect us from the terrorist communists? No, it doesn't help. Any news on the stranded astronauts? No, George, they're still up there, and apparently SpaceX is going to try to get them back. Yeah, Gus says it's all available. Yep. I have that song stuck in her head, my mind going blank. Yeah, well, it's a great song, man. What the hell is going on? My mind's going blank here. Yeah, be sure to hit the like button if you don't mind. Yeah, we've consistently getting about 1,200 people watching these streams, but today it's a little bit slow. We had over 100 concurrent viewers. Currently, we have 100. I think we peaked at 115. That was pretty good. Yep, Elon to the rescue. Well, Elon is not quite the savior that people make him out to be. He's kind of a wackadoodle, but he does have some good points. What the heck is that? Where am I getting that from? Something black on my hand there. That's nasty. Yeah, this is my South African SIM card phone. It's getting kind of low in charge. It's got 2 SIM cards from South Africa there, MTN and Vodacom. Anyway, folks, yeah. So yesterday's launch of the Ariane 6 rocket was interesting. And Elon does have his own agenda. And it isn't to help me. That's for darn sure. I don't know how many times I have to copy him. Dr. Jill is the funnel. Yeah. Don't know how many times I have to copy him on Twitter. By the way, I am getting, slow traction on Twitter. Not that I'm trying, but suddenly I'm over 1,700 people on Twitter. That's interesting. I always go to look to see if they're fake accounts. 1,756. Whoa. Yep. 1,756. Yeah, the police portfolio committee has elected DA member of Parliament Ian Cameron as its chairperson. So said Sir Kabadia Alfred. I understand who that is. Over 100 people were shot in Chicago last week, including 18 fatally. Mayor Johnson is blaming Richard Nixon for it. I saw that yesterday. Yep. Yeah, did you guys see the airline? So last night I reported my gate to work for a late flight. As the other attendants arrived, we realized we'd be an all African-American crew, black. Then the first officer arrived and lastly the captain. We all looked around at each other and took in the moment. We quickly agreed that we've never seen this before, but thanks to the diversity of our airline, we'll soon see it again. Our entire crew is African-American. Wow. And that gives you the jollies. So your entire crew is African-American. You're 12% of the population, yet you demand 100% of the flight crew. Wow. What the hell? What the hell? That's something worth celebrating? It's not. So should I celebrate if the flight crew is 100% Scandinavian? Yeah, he's blaming Richard Nixon for it. He says that, it's what he said was outrageous. Anyway. Yeah. Anyway, so... Looks like Uganda Airlines crew says, I don't know about that, but there's definitely something going on there. What is this? I don't understand when people, I hate this on Twitter, when someone posts a reply, you can't see the original threats, you don't even know what they're talking about. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. Dean Chancey's got a new song out. Anyway, so, yeah. Serious buffering. I must have pissed off some of YouTube. Well, it's your connection, Charles. It's your connection. It's your connection, man. Those data connections in South Africa aren't that great. Aren't that great. We saw this already when I tried to just go through a VPN to South Africa, and the data connection was just too slow. Couldn't live stream that way. All right, Erica... Never trust us. What's this? Going back west. Huh? Yeah, Mother Nature is beating up Cape Town big time, folks. Big time. Anyway, so we started this program off complaining about this shyster mortgage company, which sent me this bogus letter telling me I had no home insurance coverage and they were going to bill me for a new policy. But then they took the money out and paid my insurance company. Samson. I haven't seen Samson in a while. Let's go there and see if he got a new song out there. Samson. Yeah. Samson. Okay, let's see what he's got there. Oh, something came out. $1 Million Baby. Oh, what's this?
Dang, better get the shit up, bitch. I'm sticking you up like alfalfa's hair. Southbound, giving out a sound that's rare. When I pick up the mic, it's going down like stairs.
Well, there you go. Samson's got another rap out. 169,000. He's got 190,000 subscribers. I remember when he had none, and I tried to tell people about him. Samson. Yeah, there you go, folks. If you want to check that out, I'll give you that link. Samson. We used to promote his videos. Man, it was pretty awesome promoting his videos during the lockdown scam. He had some really good ones. So, yeah, let me go back to his channel. So he's got a new one called $1 Million Baby. It's a remix. So someone had to say it. Is that the one? Where's the one?
I'm about to lose everything that I...
Okay, well, I don't want this ad about Marvel Studios. Oh, we have another freaking Deadpool movie coming out. There's Wolverine, July 26th. Wolverine and Deadpool. What the hell is that all about? Boy, Wolverine is getting old, man. You can see it in his face.
Money. I've been working all day, getting dirty as a bitch, busting my tail. Coming home covered in...
That's not Samson's best. Where's the ones I'm looking for here? The real Samson. Okay. Price hike. What about us? The Sixth Sense. Leave the kids out. That's the one. That's the one we got to play. That's really good. This is a great video. So they've all been going on about Wolverine Deadpool movie for a while. I didn't know no one was coming out there. So Samson, yes. What Michael? Do you think Scotland's going to kill USA Rugby? Yes, I do, Jean-Ray. I do. After how poorly they performed last week. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all. So let's go. Goddamn fly. Okay, bless you. Excuse me. Let's go ahead and take care of one more thing here. There we go. All right, here we go. This is Samson. Remember this one? This was pretty wild.
Remember
this? Newborn suckling a biological male's breast. Are they getting milk? Nope.
I've not been able to produce any milk. It's okay because we're gonna supplement the feeding with formula so that my baby's still getting the nutrients that they need.
Yeah. And this is one he did like 3 years ago. Samson. This is great. That's child abuse, to say the least. Getting dizzy here. Here he goes. Hit it, Samson.
That's fucked up. And if that makes me a bigot, well then what's up? I'm cool with whatever you identify with, but I'll tell you right now, I ain't getting behind this. You can hate me and accuse me as crazy and come up with a bunch of different dumb excuses to say to me, but no matter what you think about this dude and this lady, that's straight up sexual abuse of a baby. Just because your nipples look like milk doesn't mean you'll be able to produce any milk from them. It's a baby, of course it's gonna latch to your udder. It doesn't know the fucking difference between the dad and the mother. You already admitted that the kid ain't getting nothing, but you keep on doing it, and to me that's sick and disgusting. It doesn't benefit shit, there's no nutritional value no matter how long that baby sucks on your nipples. So how about you just stop? It ain't a frickin' project, you can't fuck up and tell the teacher that you didn't drop it. Your kid's licking hair and sweat off a bare chest, and I'm gonna question you two as parents? Yes, of course I am. This is way past politics, no matter if you're left or right, this is bad, all of it. We used to care about the young and look out for their safety, now as long as we're happy, fuck them, they don't count, they're babies. The man's a woman and the woman's a man, but the man had the baby cause only a woman can. And as soon as he gave birth and the baby came out, they switched back. See, do you hear how fucking crazy I sound? Ain't it funny? The ones who say follow the science seem to be the same ones that always defy it. I'm sorry if I get it wrong, it's complicated stuff. It's like we're all bored and now we're starting to make shit up. How far are we gonna let this go? That's an honest question. You can let me know below in the comment section. I believe you should be who you want to be cause this is the land of the free, but that's the wrong direction. That video was fucked up. I'll say it loud. If you think that's okay, fuck you, I'll say it proud. I'm just looking out for the baby, but watch, this is gonna be the video that ends up being taken down. But that's the world we live in, and this is what we get. A man's nipple and a baby's puckered lips. There's absolutely no point of doing it, it's sick. I mean, at that point, you might as well let it suck your dick. Forget it.
Samson, folks. Yeah, that's the one we covered. That's Samson. Hey, Hendo, can you put the link up to his channel real quick? I'm going to play one more of his videos because we love this other one here. He's got Vax that thing up. I'm not going to play that one because, you know, I'll get in trouble for that one, I think. But where is the one where he does the Trump thing? Where the hell is that one at? Where is it at? He does the one for Trump. Is it gone? Did he take it down? Price hike. We got that one. Should be 3 years ago. He hasn't done much lately. But yeah, he did 3 years ago. He did a lot of stuff. And his old stuff is really... Where the hell's it at? Did he get rid of it? The Trump one, man, it was everything will be okay. That was his best one ever. What was the name of that one? Anyone remember that? It's not here. Was it 46 and 13? Maybe that's what it was. I don't think 46. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, this is it. 46-13. This was his best one. So it's Sam's son, not Samson, but Sam's son. A great guy, somewhere down at Georgia, I think is where he's at, if I'm not mistaken. I tried to contact him, but I had no success.
I love high gas prices. I love paying more for groceries, and I really love seeing taxes rise. It's
This is 3 years ago, and it's still valid now.
so good knowing that I'm giving more but receiving less. It makes me feel humble, but I'm gonna stop with the sarcasm right there, cause I swear we're living in a real jungle. It's what? Pretty simple to me though, it's way past being left or right. Just use your head and common sense and think about how you've been affected in daily life. Is it easier or is it harder? That's the most important question you should think of first, cause life is a bitch already as it is, and you don't need someone that's gonna make it worse. Ask me? I think we're fucked. Don't give me that look, everything sucks. Have you gone outside? Have you been to the store? Have you compared the prices to a year before? Do you drive a car? Have you pumped gas? Don't lie to me now, it sucks ass. You can brush it off like it's a fucking joke, but the media lies, numbers don't. Well, you can't blame Biden, it isn't him. Well, who the fuck is it then? What jacked up the prices? I wanna know why I spend so much up at Conoco. I don't know. I think it's insane that the leader of the country gets no blame, cause the whole entire time, the last 4 years, it was cheap as fuck. I'm just saying, now watch. Down in the comment section, someone's gonna give us an economy lesson. I can't wait to hear your expert analysis on fluctuation and how expenses balance. Hey, it's all a part of the process. What the hell you bitching for? It's fine. Oh yeah, I forgot about the 16 cents that I saved on hot dogs for 4th of July. What a fucking steal. Too bad I spent more on gas just to get to Target. So by the time I got done buying all this shit and filling up my car, I had way less than when I started. Now, I don't really call that saving. No, I call that losing money. It doesn't take a genius to do simple math, but apparently you can't, so who's the dummy? Probably still me. I'm just pissed off. This inflation's fucked up, but I gotta sit here and act like I love this administration with a thumbs up? Stupid. Everything is hell, but you act like I'm supposed to be in heaven. You know our country ain't doing too good when the Waffle Houses start to close at 11. Dude, he can barely talk, and don't act like I'm being overzealous. Every time the man speaks, I have no fucking clue what he's trying to tell us. Every speech is like a gag reel. Every time I see the shit, I'm like, is that real? Well, considering the fact that the only other option was Trump, I don't think it's such a bad deal. Fuck that, I want a strong leader. The strength of a man should be constantly tested, especially when you're in the most powerful position in the world. That should be not even a question. There's really not enough words that can describe the craziness we're facing, dude. But the crazier part is there's still people you need to sit down and really explain this to. Come on, man. Just watch a press conference. You'll see the Joe is all gone. He literally says out loud that he has a list of people he's supposed to call on. Yeah. And even then he fucks that up. The whole thing is hella awkward. COVID-19 ain't his biggest enemy. It's the goddamn teleprompter. It feels like we don't even have a leader. It's like we're all just following blindly. Each of my grandparents could run circles around him in a debate, and they're almost 90. Look at him. Don't take it from me. Go listen to him. It's not a rumor.
You gotta, I mean,
Today, Junior! Jesus Christ, go on YouTube and click
Today, Junior! I love it. I'm telling you, man, I love it. That's I'll finish it in a second here, but that's Samson. That's this guy's fantastic. You know, I wish he'd do more, but he's slow. I don't know. He must his day job keeps him busy. But this is 3 years ago, and look what he's saying about Biden 3 years ago. You should see what Robin Williams said about Biden 20 years ago. It's all 100% right.
any video of Joe Biden and check out the like and the dislike ratios. That should prove to you that no one likes him. I don't agree with anything he's done. His decisions affect me in many ways. If it was up to me, I'd rather have mean tweets and cheap gas any day. I don't like Biden. What good's he done for us? I think Afghanistan pretty much sums it up. What a dumb adult. My stomach does somersaults when I think about those 13 soldiers that were killed to fucking gall. Then he goes to the service and keeps checking his watch like he has somewhere better to be. I swear the disrespect doesn't stop. Pick your fucking head up. Look at the women and men you killed. I don't understand how anyone could even defend you still. And if they do, they either don't know what they're talking about or they're lying to themselves, cause they know damn well you're a problem now. Pulling out was a good choice, not the way you did it though. Kamala's probably sitting there like, oh my god, we did it, Joe. Speaking of her, Where's she been through all these deadly days? As soon as shit erupts and hits the fan, Kamala's MIA. Not like she does anything anyway, so fucking useless. Law and order, crisis at the border, she don't fucking do shit. Just a talking head, paired up with the Walking Dead, breaking absolutely every word that was promised or said. Every time I see their faces on TV, it's such a bummer. I feel like I'm watching the third installment of Dumb and Dumber. And on top of all that, they put another ban on ammo, trying to disarm Americans, but equip the Taliban like Rambo. You give them hundreds of thousands of military guns, but Americans just trying to protect their families are the scary ones. You put more trust in a terrorist organization than you do in your own people. You don't care about this nation. Fuck you, that's from me. Fuck you, that's from them. Fuck you from everyone that's still stuck in Afghanistan. Fuck you from the men and women who died for this country. And fuck you for every time you lie to cover up something. You blame this on Trump. How the fuck is this even his fault? You're in charge now, not him. That's just your default. Whenever something goes wrong, you flip and say he did it. But whenever something goes right, you're quick to take the credit. You undid almost all of Trump's agreements by your second day. So why is this one of the only fucking things you left in place? No crosses to bear, no responsibilities, just chocolate chip to ease your mental instability. I would say the blood's on your hands, but that's a lie, cause you don't even know where the fuck you are half the time.
Samson, folks. Samson rocks. Yeah, that's that one there. Let me I gotta leave shortly, but let me do one more here from Samson. Yeah, it's just those are awesome. Those are the two of the best ones there. The 6 cents one's pretty good. Let's do this price hike. Let me do the 6 cents. That's about January 6th. This one's about January 6th, so let's do this one, and then I'll get out of here. So there we go.
Fellow Americans, good morning. Certain dates echo throughout history.
This is garbage.
Insurrection.
January 6th attack on the United States Capitol.
The January 6th Capitol insurrection.
January 6th.
January 6th.
January the 6th.
January 6th.
Including dates that instantly remind all who have lived through them
Her voice is so annoying.
where they were and what they were doing
Yeah, we know.
when our democracy came under assault.
These clear acts of sedition and violence and terrorism.
A violent terrorist attack on the Capitol.
Such an attack on our democracy. Violent attack to overthrow an election. The worst attacks in American history.
If I can't have it my way, I'll burn the whole country down.
Dates that occupy not only a place on our calendars, but a place in our collective memory.
Oh, God.
December 7th, 1941.
The audacity to compare January 6th
September
to
11th,
December 7th.
2001.
And here it comes,
And January
Samson.
6th, 2021.
What a scam artist.
Newsflash, nobody gives a fuck about it. We all admit that shit was pretty dumb, but that's about it. When we saw the news, we were shocked and we were kind of tense. Like, damn. Then we forgot about it by the 10th. Nobody's walking around stressing over Jan 6. It happened and that was it. We haven't gave a damn since. It's all good when riots are kept in the hood, but now you're freaking out cause this was in the neck of your woods. Now it's a big deal. Now it gets real. Now it's important to us. Not back then in 2020 when stores were boarded up. Not back then when goods were looted and folks were brutalized. Not then, but right now, cause it happened to the suit and ties. That shit's way above my head. We were fucking shit up all year with demonstrations that left dozens dead. But people like Nancy didn't flinch. In fact, they loved it then. People will do what they do. Bitch, ain't that what you said? Yep. There's literally compilation videos of you and all your colleagues inciting this kind of crap. So it's very fascinating to watch you swallow your words. You put your own foot in your mouth and now you're forced to dial it back. It's fine when you encourage it in my town, in his town, in her town. When the whole fucking city's being burnt down, you smile as you give the green light for mobs to rob shit. But as soon as it comes close to you, then it's a problem. Got it. I don't condone what happened on that day, especially the officers that were assaulted. I would never dare. But as for all the politicians that were there, you fuck us over all the time, so don't expect us to care. I care more about the store owner that's getting beat down in front of his shop just for trying to protect his place of business. He would probably help me if he saw me on the ground dying. Y'all wouldn't do a damn thing. Shit, you'd probably say good riddance. You'd walk right over me like I was a crack and you were trying to save your mother's back like a 5-year-old kid. If you did acknowledge me, you probably nudge my body and go, aw, little fucker must have died of COVID. You know it's true. Stop bluffing. They do absolutely nothing that is trusting. Kamala, for you to compare this to Pearl Harbor and 9/11 is disrespectful and fucking disgusting. That's the most self-centered thing that I've ever seen. Compared to those events, it's not even worth remembering. No one that I know is even still paying attention to it. We'd all forget this shit in like a month if nobody mentioned it. Yep. And you know it too. You're gonna milk this thing and squeeze it till it's bone dry and it won't drip any juice. While your stupid committee's wasting money convicting people from a year ago while CNN runs continuous loops. We would rather hear you address a million other issues. We don't wanna listen to you cry. Get a fucking tissue. So many things could be dealt with in a jiff, but you would rather sit in front of us and smell your own shit. I refuse to show concern for a group of people that I have no respect for. I won't go there. I'm not happy about it. I'm not mad about it either. I'm just neutral on the issue. I just don't care. Yeah, I'm back.
That was after he had been gone for a while. That's Samson. He had not done a video for a while. That's, yeah, I'm back. So, yeah, that's Samson, folks. Pretty cool stuff. He hasn't done any videos recently. Hang on a second. Still got to get rid of that camera there. Where are you at? There we go. All right, cool. Anyway, so that's Samson. I got to get out of here, folks. Just imagine Samson doing videos about so that poor guy will need some mental health help. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, keep him busy there. Well, he's a mullet guy. He does the mullet. Yeah, Kamala is a shame. So is Joe Biden. So is Mitch McConnell. So is Nancy Pelosi. So is Paul Ryan. So are so many of these people. What's happening to the Saudi oil deal ending? Which Saudi oil deal? What do you want to talk? Which one are you talking about? You're going to have to give me more information than that. I can't go off that. So, yep. All right. 103 likes. And we're down to 88 people. After I start playing Samson, people left. All right. So we're at an hour and 30 minutes. That's the cutoff point. Yeah, Jonathan Pye, he's okay. I don't see him very often. It never comes up on my feed. So, yeah, but I know who you're talking about. He's entertaining. All right, that's it, folks. Thanks a lot. We'll catch you. I'll be on the radio tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's pretty early, South Africa, 1 to 3 o'clock in the morning. With the Common Sense Conservatives, if you want to tune in there, WSMN.live. WSMN, Whiskey, Sierra, Mike, November.live. L-I-V-E. Not life, but live. Vesa Lemma, good night to you. And tomorrow, Byron Shepard will be on for the Briberoos tomorrow. So we'll catch you guys for that tomorrow. Thanks a lot. We'll have a conversation about events in South Africa and around the world. We'll talk about the UK election, I'm sure, because he spent time in the UK. So big day tomorrow. Yep. God, bless this fly, man. Driving me nuts. Anyway, cheers. Catch y'all later. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.